Welcome back. This is video 2 of a 4-part tutorial about how to professionally format documents using Microsoft Word. Before we start, I want to make sure that you've already watched video 1 on how to use the Styles menu before watching this video. Please continue watching this video if you have already done so. Again, you are encouraged to rewind or pause the video whenever and follow along as you watch this video. In this particular video, we are going to focus on the Insert tab of our Word document. Specifically, we are going to learn how to insert page breaks, pictures and graphs, shapes and text boxes, equations and symbols, right here, header and footer, and how to cross-reference. This video is probably the most important video that will help you ace your Word exercise and assignment. First is page break, and it is located right here. Page break is used to separate two sections from each other so that when you modify different pages, other pages will not be affected. Or more simply, it just enters all of the text after where you place your cursor to a different page. So let's say if I want all of the text after this paragraph to be on a different page, I can place my cursor here, and then pages, page break, and everything will be moved to a different page. So for example, let's say I want to add more text right after the abstract, but I also want the introduction to start on a new page like what we have here. What I can do is add a page break right here. And then now, no matter how much text I place after abstract, so let's try that real quick. No matter how much text I place after abstract, introduction will still start on a different page. Page break is especially useful when you're adding images or graphs and you don't want other pages to be affected with new insertions. Next is inserting pictures and graphs. There are several ways that you can go about this. One is using Clipboard under the Home tab, right here. This is when you already have an image copied and you want to paste it to the document. Another way to do this is just to Control or Command C and then Control or Command V. The third option for inserting pictures is using Pictures under the Insert tab. This allows you to choose any images that you already have on your device and then paste them onto the Word doc. So let's try doing that. Here I want to insert the forestry pig PNG that we previously downloaded from Canvas. Also make sure that everything is properly aligned. I usually like to wrap my text with this particular one. Just make sure everything looks good. And once I've moved it around and I think that it looks good, it's also important to note that all pictures, graphs, and tables need a caption. You can do this by right-click and then just add caption or insert caption. And then you can select whether it's a equation, table, diagram, etc., etc. Pictures count as figure. So let's call this forestry building. I can click OK, and then a caption will be generated. A caption for a graph or a photo like this will always go below, but a caption for a table will go on top. Next is inserting shapes and text boxes. To insert shapes, you would go to Insert, and then Shapes. There are a ton of shapes for you to choose from, or you can also choose to draw your own shape. Like that. Perfect. You can also add free floating text boxes using this button right here. Or you can add text directly on your shape by right-clicking and then Add Text. There we go. It's also useful to group your text or your shapes and text boxes together so that you can move them around in the document easier. So let's try doing that. So I just select all of them, holding Shift and then clicking on all the shapes, and then right-click and then group. You can ungroup them anytime as well if you want to move them around. At this point of the video, you are encouraged to pause and try out the inserting page breaks, pictures, and shapes functions. The next section of this video will show you how to insert equations and symbols. Symbols can be found right here. You can click on any symbol and then insert to have it appear on your document. You can also assign shortcuts to the symbols by using keyboard shortcut. Let's say I want to assign Command-Shift-A to this symbol. I would then click Assign and then OK. You can also remove it anytime you want. Now every time I click Command-Shift-A, this symbol will appear. To add an equation, you would go to this button. Here you have the option to insert an existing equation or create your own using these templates. You can also insert an equation by drawing it. For some word, you can do this directly by using Draw. Draw your equation and then there should be a button that says Ink to Math. For some Mac users, you have to download an add-in. So we would go to Insert, Add-ins, Get Add-ins, search for MyScript, Add, Continue. Your add-in will appear right here. So we can just click on this, draw whatever equation you want. So let's say I want to add the equation A plus B equals C. Click this button, and then your equation would appear. For Windows users, you can do the exact thing using the Ink Equation button. Regardless if you are a Mac or Windows users, you can save the equation that you've created by right-clicking the equation and then click Save as New Equation. You can give the equation a name, categorize it, and write a description if you want. Then click OK. Now, every time that you want to find this equation, you can just go to Equation, and then your equation should appear right here. You can go ahead and play around with adding symbols and equation now. Up next, we'll quickly learn how to insert a header, a footer, and a table to our document. So this is the header of the document, and this is the footer of the document. It's basically just the top and bottom of the page. Everything that you place in the footer and the header will appear on every page of your document. And you can use this button right here to insert a header or a footer. There are pre-created templates that you can use. Or if you don't like any of these templates, you can just double-click on the header or the footer and then type whatever you want. So for example, let's type 232 here. So here you can see Forestry 232 appears on every single page of the document. You also have the option to have a different header or footer on your very first page or on odd and even pages. To add a table, so let's say I want to add a table right here. To add a table, I can just go to Insert, Table, and then choose however many rows and columns that I want to add to my document. Let's say I want a 4x4 table. Make sure to also format your table properly so that it looks like a table. You can do this manually by having a different header or, a different first row, or you can just choose any of these templates that Word has. Now take some time to explore the header and footer as well as the insert table functions. The next part of this video shows you how to cross-refer tables and figures in your Word document. Okay, so let's say in this part of the text, I want to refer the readers to this image. So then I would type figure 1 right here. And then I would highlight figure 1 text, go to insert, links, and then cross-reference. Here I can choose a number of things to cross-refer, but since it's a figure, I'll choose figure. And then I only want the label and the number to appear. I also want to insert it as a hyperlink. So then I'll click on this and then insert. And then now, if I hover my cursor above figure 1, a hand will appear. And then if I click on it, I'll be taken directly to the image. Usually you would want to place the image right after the paragraph where it is first mentioned. The Cross References button can also be found under the References tab, right here. Either one works, but we'll go over the References tab in more detail in video 4. So now please take a moment to try out the cross-reference function. This concludes our second video of a 4-part tutorial on how to properly and professionally format your Word document. You can now move on to the third video. Make sure to take a screen break whenever you need to, and thank you.